Before Cornwall was Cornwall, before maps gave names to hills and men carved borders into the earth, the land existed in a state of listening. Wind moved freely across open moorland, bending grass and whispering to granite. Rain fell without weaning, soaked into soil, and returned again as mist. The sea lay not far away, restless and eternal, breathing salt into the air. This was a land untouched by certainty, a place where humans did not rule, but negotiated their place among forces far older than themselves. And in the heart of this land, 3 stones stood. 2 were tall and upright, rough and narrow, like silent guardians frozen mid-watch. Between them lay a 3rd stone, shorter, rounder, pierced clean through its center. Its edges were worn smooth not by tools, but by time and touch. Hands had passed through it, bodies had passed through it, hope had passed through it. Long before it was called Mên-an-Tol, it was simply the stone with the hole. No one remembered who placed it there. Some said giants shaped it when the world was young. Others believed lightning struck the rock so fiercely it tore a wound through stone itself. A few whispered that the earth had opened its eye, and the hole was where it still watched. Whatever the truth, the stone endured. When illness had a voice. In those early centuries, sickness was not a condition, it was a presence. Pain had intention, fever carried meaning. A twisted limb or weakened breath was seen as imbalance, a sign that something unseen had slipped out of harmony. Healing was not about curing the body alone, it was about persuading the world to set things right again. That was why people came to the stone. They came quietly at first, alone or in small groups, carrying children wrapped in wool, elders leaning heavily on carved staffs, and fears too large to speak aloud. They did not shout prayers, they whispered. One such woman was Brina, daughter of the Moor, whose life was shaped by hardship and endurance. Her child, Elowin, had been born small and fragile, her breath shallow from the first moment. As seasons passed, Elowin did not grow strong. Her limbs shook, her chest tightened painfully when she cried. Each winter threatened to take her away. Brina tried everything. Herbs boiled bitter and dark, ash mixed with water, prayers murmured into firelight. Nothing eased the child's suffering, until an elder spoke of the stone, the ritual of passing through. The ritual was older than memory. At dawn, when the world balanced briefly between night and day, the sick must be passed through the stone, not once, not twice, but 9 times, always sunwise, always guided by steady hands and focused belief. 9 was not a number, it was a cycle, completion, return. Brina carried Elowin across the moor before sunrise, frost biting at her feet, mist clinging to her legs like a warning. When the stones emerged from the fog, she stopped, heart pounding. They looked unchanged by centuries of human desperation, indifferent almost. She knelt. She pressed her forehead to the cold granite, and she asked, not demanded, for mercy. As the sun rose, Brina passed her daughter through the stone. The hole was cold, impossibly cold, but smooth. Elowin whimpered softly at first, then grew quiet. By the 9th pass, the wind had stilled. Something had shifted. Elowin slept deeply that day, and when she woke, her breathing was easier. Days passed, then weeks. Strength returned slowly, like grass reclaiming scorched earth. No miracle, no lightning, just life, continuing. When belief became dangerous, stories spread, as they always do. People traveled farther. Mothers came with infants. Men with twisted backs crawled through the stone despite pain and pride. Lovers passed through together, believing it would bring fertility, unity, protection. But belief never exists alone. It invites opposition. When Christianity reached Cornwall, it brought order and fear of disorder. Priests spoke of a single God, of healing through prayer alone. The stone became suspect, dangerous, pagan. Some called it superstition, others called it the devil's doorway. Rituals were condemned, public healings stopped, but the stone did not lose its power. It went underground. People came at night. They came at dawn when no one watched. Faith did not disappear. It adopted. The girl who refused to let go. Centuries later, a young woman named Onwen defied her village to save her brother. Her brother, Kadon, lay fevered, delirious, his body failing despite prayer and fasting. The priest spoke of God's will. Onwen spoke of memory. She remembered her grandmother's whispers. She carried Kadon to the stone before dawn, fear shaking her hands, and passed him through the hole 9 times, tears falling onto ancient granite. Kadon lived. Onwen was punished, not with fire or chains, but with silence. Her family was shunned. Faith had become obedience. Yet the stone remained. The age of reason and the age of loss. Time moved on. Science arrived with notebooks and certainty. Folklore was dismissed as ignorance. Scholars measured the stone, sketched it, cataloged it. They explained away healing as coincidence, belief, placebo. But people still came. Farmers with aching joints, mothers with sick children, visitors who laughed until they placed their hands on the stone and fell quiet. Reason could explain much, but not everything. The stone in the modern world. Today, Mên-an-Tol stands behind fences, photographed, labeled, protected. Tourists crawl through the hole laughing. Some pause afterward, uncertain why they feel different. The stone no longer promises healing, but it still offers something rarer: connection to the land, to the past, to the quiet truth that humans have always sought hope in places older than themselves.